Good afternoon to you all, and welcome back to the FISE World Series Montpellier 2024 here in beautiful south of France. Today's competition is going to be the UCI BMX Freestyle Park World Cup, and it is going to be a hell of a final. My name is Egon Temmermans, and I'll be joined here by my good friend, the one and only Ryan Williams.
Let's go, my first ever FISE Montpellier. I cannot wait to see this final. The semis were insane, and now it gets even more insane.
I mean, we've had 4 days of FISE so far. We've seen you've seen the qualifications,
yep.
We've done the semifinals, and now it's boiled down to 12 athletes.
It's incredible, the level of riding to, like, when you cut these guys down, it's like, how did this guy get cut? But then you just see the level of riding, and if you stuff up in your run, basically you didn't make it to the finals. You could not have a slip up. You had to have an absolutely perfect run to get here to these finals today.
And as people are still coming in here on the banks of the river Lesse, let's take a look at that beautiful Hurricane Park that they constructed just for this occasion, for this FISE Montpellier 2024. How are you liking the scenery, Ryan?
Oh, I love the scenery, especially the crowd. That's my favorite thing here in FISE Montpellier. They show up to every single event. Doesn't matter what you're riding, doesn't matter what the event is, they show up and they make so much noise. But the skate park here, I've heard that it's one of the best skate parks people have ridden, so that you're going to see that in the riding. If the guys like the park, they're going to ride really good.
It's built like a castle on the banks of the rivers, and the conditions are mint as well. I mean, we have a reasonable temperature, 22 degrees, and not too high wind speed, might be picking up a bit, but still, like, conditions are really good to ride a final in.
Yeah, I feel like they've just been getting better and better, and the qualities are, the wind was there, but then semis, it just keeps getting better and better conditions, and then the riding's getting better and better as well.
It's not like in Japan where we had a downpour the whole time, where we barely could have qualifications in high winds. So we're really glad that after Japan and after last year's FISE, we can finally have a final again at this FISE World Series in Montpellier.
This skate park, look at it, it's so sweet. There's some weird fixtures too. You see that, they like to call it the cheese grater. On the left, you see it, it's like a big piece of metal wall ride, but if you look closely, it's like a cheese grater. It's got holes in it.
And then in front of a cheese grater, someone else has called it the duck's foot.
The duck's foot.
I mean, we've been calling it a tit yesterday.
Yeah, the nipple. I call it half the nipple. The half nipple to cheese grater.
So now it's going to be a duck foot and a cheese grater. Look, the river banks are packed with people that want to see the best riders in the world.
Yeah, you're seeing it. We actually have a pretty interesting final heat. Maybe some new riders in the field. But that's because a few guys are over in Shanghai, I believe.
Yeah, that's true. We've been seeing a lot of online comments asking where's Logan Martin, where's Kieran Riley. Well, the thing is, next week it's the first of the 2 Olympic qualifier series events. So all these riders, they're already, like, most of them already are traveling to Shanghai or are in Shanghai already because they want to adapt to the jet lag, they want to get training, and they want to go all in on the Olympic qualifier series. I mean, as you can understand, coming to FISE first and then flying back to Shanghai, that can mess with your biological clock, with your rhythm. And that could cost you maybe a potential ticket to the Olympics in Paris in 2 months.
I know exactly what they're talking about. I'm actually facing the jet lag at the moment here in France, but that doesn't mean you're not going to see some crazy riding, because we have a crazy setup here and we have a bunch of new riders that you might see and recognize.
Now, talking about the park, let's take a look at this construction by Hurricane Parks. This is the Chicago.
Yeah, and there you see the nipple and the cheese grater.
The duck foot and the cheese grater.
And the cheese grater. But it's been interesting. You see, there's been riders that take advantage of these weird ramps, you know, and if you can take advantage of it and get a trick that's a high-level trick, you stand out from the crowd. And that's obviously going to give you some great, unique score in the criteria.
We've been seeing some really fun transfers on that cheese grater, and also on this box jump. I mean, you can jump a line in every which way possible.
Yeah, a lot of the riders have actually been saying it's quite difficult, though, going from the spine to the box. You may see, if you've watched the semis or the qualies, a lot of people hanging up. It's not an easy jump, but the thing is, if you can jump something that's not easy and do a trick and make it look easy, it's going to show on the judging.
Because the spine was very steep, right?
Yeah, exactly. So when you're taking off a takeoff ramp and you're landing in the takeoff ramp, there's a smaller margin of error.
But that is something that can make you stand out from the competition if you can nail these gaps, certain trick combos. It's all things that the judges are going to take into account later on.
And this skate park has been quite forgiving. So a lot of guys, even if they do case or they hang up or they go low, 2 pedals and they're back to the same speed. But by the end of your run, if you're casing once or twice, you're going to run out of energy.
Now, if we look at the competition format, if you're not familiar with a World Cup final, this is how it's going to go. We're going to have 12 riders in 2 heats of 6 riders, and they're each going to get 2 runs of 60 seconds. And of course, the best run counts.
And we all love the best run counts. I feel like having the qualifiers, they had to do 2 run counts, and you can tell when it's 2 runs count because the guys have to stop these tricks. And if they don't land both runs, they're out of the running. So with the best run counts, you really see the best tricks in each run.
And here we have Anthony Jean on deck. And a special thing about him is he is also qualified for the Olympic Qualifier Series. And he's also traveling to Shanghai next week. But given the fact that France is the hosting nation of the Olympics, they already have a spot for their country. So there's a big chance that Anthony will have that spot already. But still, he's going to try and compete in Shanghai as well.
All right, so we got the judging criteria. Just a few things. Obviously, difficulty of tricks. That's obviously going to be how hard is the tricks you're doing. The flow is a big one. If you can keep the flow, the less pedals usually is the better flow, unless you're going faster. And then landings, that's obviously going to play into your flow as well. You want to land good. You want to execute the tricks good. And you'll be able to tell if a rider's doing all these things, it'll look like it's effortless. Whereas if they case or they're needing to pedal more, you'll notice that it's a little bit harder to get through the run.
And then in the top right corner, we have our UCI judging panel. These are all BMX Freestyle legends that will display their knowledge of the sport and use that knowledge to correctly judge the riders today. So on the right, we have Luka Kovic. On his left, it's Christy Huge. Then I think that's Igor Boki Vukadinovic, David Hank Cleworth, and UCI technical delegate Bart de Jong, the head honcho of UCI BMX Freestyle.
The boss.
He was actually one of the men involved in getting the sport Olympic.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he does.
Man, that's crazy. It's so cool that we can be in the Olympics. You can win a gold medal on your BMX bike. That is just epic. I just hope that they bring some more events in. Come on, we could have dirt, we could have mega ramp, we could have street. Imagine getting a street Olympic medal. I think that's dope.
I mean, there's still a lot of time before the 2032 Olympics. That's in Australia, right?
Yeah, let's go. That's what I want.
That Sydney, Melbourne?
Gold Coast. Brisbane? No, Brisbane.
Oh, Brisbane.
Brisbane, that's
okay,
it.
okay.
Close to the Gold Coast. An hour down the road from me, so if you just want to chuck in the dirt, be my guest Olympics. It's easier to judge.
Well, you're going to be Olympic in a couple of months because you're going to be commentating all the Australian live streams.
I'm going to give it my best shot. So I'm getting some practice right now, so we'll see how we go. But look at that crowd. That's what I love about FISE Montpellier.
And Zach Catfish, he's hyping up the crowd. And he's being assisted by the French MC Pierre Wilhelm, a.k.a. Pee-wee.
The competition hadn't even started before, and I heard the crowd going absolutely wild. I'm like, what's going on? Are we meant to be on right now? But they were just getting them so pumped, and they were just so loud.
So these are some of the highlights from the semi-finals.
Beautiful 360 triple. If you'd think this was a final, you have to ride these contests like it's your final to get in that top 12. So, look at that. Oh, that is so nice.
That was Lucas Bertrand.
Goofy foot life. Shout out to all my bung foots. That's where you spin to your front foot. Beautiful cash roll.
We are here in the south of France, one of the biggest and best action sports contests in the world. You see the crowd behind me. Montpellier, who's ready for some BMX? Let's meet our competitors. Representing Team GB, Ash Finley. His teammate representing Team GB, Sean Gornell.
Our second rider from Great Britain.
18 years old, riding for Team Japan, Joji Mizukage.
Yoji, he was the only rider to do a fakie trick in the semifinal.
Riding for Team Hungary, Zoltan Ujvari.
The coolest name in the finals, if I must say.
This is going to be his first final ever.
Oh, wow.
21 years old, his first major final from Australia, Samuel Grace.
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie! Come on, Samuel. He told me he's 21. He was smiling ear to ear, so I don't know if that's true, but I think so. So young.
Hailing from Santiago, Chile, Jose Sedano.
Pan American Games silver medalist, and he has something up his sleeve for this final.
The youngest rider here in the finals at just 16 years old, riding for Team Japan, Kaede Ozawa!
Let's go. Representing Japan, and he was actually in the first group of the semifinals, I believe, and he's here in the finals.
Hailing from Lodi, California, USA, this is Bryce Tryon!
The cool guy from Lodi.
Representing Team GB in his first major final. Make some noise for Reef Way!
He made quite an impression in his semifinal.
Your Olympic bronze medalist, riding for Team GB, Declan Brooks!
That's 4 guys from the UK in this final.
Representing Team France, Anthony Johnson!
Goosebumps.
That's giving me chills.
Let's go.
And your number 1 qualifier, representing Australia Cycling, Brandon Lupos!
Now I've got the shivers. Let's go. Lupos.
Let's do this!
Ryan, please don't start a fight in the commentary booth. I know we have the French right next to us.
Yeah, they'll be cheering it on. If they keep... I'll be cheering loud for those Aussies, but I feel like we've got a strong presence. We've got 2 in there, you know. Samuel Grace in his first final, I believe. Throwing down, he's got some big tricks. And he has a little secret trick that I hope he brings into his final run. I won't spoil it, but just keep your eyes peeled.
Well, I'm curious now.
It'd be one for the tech riders out there. All right, so it's going to be 2 heats. So if you're in the second heat, you have a little bit of an advantage. So depending on your position, you get to see what the guys before you put in their runs. You see their scores. You can kind of see, okay, this is what I need to do to get to this position. Or maybe I could dial it back. Maybe I get 1 solid run in, you know, get 1 under my belt, get myself a position in the top 3, and then I can go for a even crazier run in my second run.
And this is going to be our first heat of riders.
Yeah, so this is where you might see some unfamiliar faces, but I'm telling you now, watching the semis, you wouldn't think so. These guys absolutely send it. They've got unique styles, and they bring a lot of new things to the playing field.
And that's what I love about FISE as well. Like, FISE is your perfect occasion to get to know new riders that are in the field. And now, especially with all the big shots missing out because of OQS, we got like all these massive talents that can showcase their talent here on the riverbanks of Le Les in Montpellier.
And we have an absolutely amazing skate park to do that on. And you're going to be able to tell by the riding that this is a really good skate park, and they maintain speed. There won't be that many pedals, and there'll be plenty of tricks to see. I'm excited. Like, the level of tricks in the semis was so big, and I just know these guys can step it up for the finals, and they need to step it up to get in those top positions.
But the big question will be, is someone going to end up in the river this time?
I wouldn't recommend it. Not in the first run, maybe in the second run.
Look at that crowd. I mean, that must be thousands of people.
Let's go.
I think today must be close to sold out, but we're going to start it off with our first rider from Team Great Britain. That will be Ashley Finlay.
So he's been one of the only riders doing, well, one of two riders doing a trick up the step up that is probably the biggest trick done. So I'm wondering if he's going to pull it out here in his final run. He usually does it at the start here. Plenty of speed. You can see how much speed he's going to need. 3 double tail whip. Oh, no!
And that was that transfer we were talking about. It's so steep. It's so far that you have to jump that gap.
I asked the guys, like the field yesterday, and about half the riders said their least favorite jump is the step up, because it's not really a step up. It's like landing. You're landing in a takeoff ramp, and it's so steep that the margin of error is so small. You could go too long, you land flat, you lose your speed, or you can come up short and case the back wheel and go over the handlebars, just like Ash did there. But
Ashley thought, I'm gonna do it. I'm
yeah,
gonna jump this gap that no one else does.
It stands out. It's the biggest trick I've seen so far, up the step up. But unfortunately, he didn't have enough speed there to make it all the way up. But he's rolling away. He can come back for his second run, and I'm sure he'll get it in the second run. So we'll wait for that.
So we'll keep that in mind as well. It is only your best run that will count in this final.
Ideally, the guys will try to go out there, and you want to land that first run, even if you dial it back a little bit. I'm not sure, even in the finals, though, you might just want to send it, because why hold back and only get one chance at doing your hardest run? So
it's also a matter of confidence. Like, if you can nail a first good, decent run,
yeah,
that can give you that energy to go all in on that second run.
But this is also 1 minute riding full pace. I like to say it's, it's like solving Rubik's Cubes while you're running at full sprint. So there's so many things to think about, and while you're doing it, you're getting exhausted over 1 minute.
So let's see what Sean Gornall has planned. That's another thing. Even though it's freestyle, a lot of riders will map their run so they can ride a full minute. They will have like a choreography, let's say, to try and hit every object possible.
And just to put that in perspective, I checked out Brandon Lupos. He's the first place qualifier, and I seen how many walls, how many opportunities to do tricks did he have in his run, and there was 17 obstacles that he hit and aired that he could do tricks on. So that's almost a trick every
2 seconds and a bit.
3 seconds, yeah, just under 3 seconds.
3 seconds, I mean, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's insane.
I mean, you have to, I was gonna say pedal on the course, but I mean, you shouldn't be pedaling.
As little as possible. If you are pedaling, it could be to just go higher, and in that case, it's perfectly fine. We got Showa there from Japan, who was in the qualifying. Had a great run, but unfortunately couldn't make it through. The level is just so high.
Okay, so we're just getting an update that there's something with the music on the course, and that's why we're waiting for another minute here.
We need a good DJ. Well, the ambulance or the policeman isn't a very good sound to ride to either. I don't really like that sound.
I mean, we could make it turn into a remix.
I would not recommend it. We need some Slayer. or maybe key glock, depends what you're into.
I mean, music is a big key factor in a good contest run, but also in a good video part, let's say.
Exactly.
Even for an Instagram post.
I'll give you a tip. One time I was in practice and I was listening to Slayer and I actually broke my spine to Slayer on the mega ramp. So that was fun.
So it was raining blood?
It was actually. I was actually listening to that, and I came off the mega ramp and I landed on my butt and I fractured my spine, and I had Slayer in my ears while my spine was fractured, and it felt like I had soiled myself because I landed so hard on my butt. And that was my first practice on the mega ramp. So that was fun. I don't think they're going to play Slayer here though.
Well, we'll have to see. Because sometimes the riders can actually request a song with the DJs. I remember at the last World Cup, we had, it was Gustavo Balaloca, the Brazilian guy, and he was riding to some kind of samba beat type of music, and it was fitting.
Yeah,
like,
that's beautiful.
Even his riding style was Brazilian, like watching Brazilian soccer or Brazilian football.
So just bear with us, we're just getting the music straight.
So more about FISE. It's just incredible to see the fans and how into it they are, and into every sport. We've got, what do we have? We've got scooters, BMX, we've got skateboards, we have free running,
Parkour, yeah.
breakdancing. I was going to give the breakdancing a go, but they wouldn't let me on the stage, unfortunately.
Because you were going to win every competition in breakdancing.
I think I just might save it for the after party.
I was going to compete in scooter riding as well, but it wouldn't let me.
So this right now, this is actually quite annoying for the riders, if I'm being honest. Having to hold, you're ready to go. You've prepared for the last 2 hours for this moment, and now you have to hold that energy. You're almost like a coiled up spring, and you just want to release. You want to be let go. You got bound power, and you just want to let it out on the course. But these guys are professionals, so I'm sure they handle it well. But
and I think the music's kicking in again, if I'm not mistaken.
Perfect.
Oh well. So if you're watching at home, I would stay in my seat because Sean Gornall is ready to drop in.
Shout out to DJ No Sleep. That's Jay Tui. He's usually here. But here we go. 360 tail whip the box backwards, landing perfect and gaining enough speed to hit the transfer to the spine, off the step up, to the step down, 3 double down whip. Blue is boosting that 3 transfer. Table over the pocket. Whoa. That was an Oppo 360 bar spin. Over the box backwards, that's impressive. 720 bar spin. Tail whip transfer. Oh, beautiful Superman seat grab Indy. Only just over halfway. Oh! Look at the bike. Look how the bike landed. Give him points for that.
Oh, yeah.
Come on.
Perfect placement.
Make sure the front wheels are right. Yep, all good. But that was a backflip opposite tail whip.
Opposite tail whip. That's one of Sean's signature tricks.
Yeah, he did that in the semifinals, so he's kicking the tail whip the opposite direction. It's kind of like using your opposite hand to write your name. Try that right now, and I bet you it feels super weird. And now imagine doing it over, I don't know, a 3-meter box, going through the air, and hoping that you land on your wheels.
He can do this on a quarter pipe as well in the flare.
Yeah, I mean, well, he was actually doing quite a few Oppo tricks there. You see, that's 3-whip the normal way over the box backwards, boosting the 360. Yeah, that's it. Alley-oop transfer. Right here, the 720 bar spin. But he also did an opposite 360 bar spin over the box back. This is it. Yes, thank you for showing this. That needs appreciation. That's so hard to do, to get the right speed. Here we go.
Pushing with that front foot.
Yeah, exactly. So he has to take his foot off. He slides it back and then kicks it. Unfortunately, he kind of delayed on the kick and he didn't flip perfectly straight back. So he came in diagonal. But chose to bail, which is the smartest option to do. He can come back in his second run and stomp it.
Still a pretty decent score for Sean Gornall, given his crash, a 47.50. But he was going really well during the first half of his run. So he will have that confidence to start with his second run in a couple of minutes. Now back to the only rider that did a gap to Fakie in the semifinals from Japan. It's Yoji Mizugaki.
Yo, I think he just did a crank flip drop in. 360 bar X over the box backwards. It's gonna look like he's not trying, and that's why he gets so much star points. Yo, there it is, 360 tail whip to tire bars to T-Bog. 1 foot table, he fell off in the semis, but his foot's stayed on there.
He's trying to aim with his backpack to hit the ramp as he comes back in. 360 triple bar spin.
4 bar spins in a 360. It was hard to see because it was so fast. 1 NX up transfer. Oh, that was stylish.
Tabletop C grab.
That's it.
Very unique style by Yoji.
360 double tail whip. Oh!
Foot jamming.
His quad got jammed in the back wheel. I thought he had that so perfectly. He kind of landed a little sideways, and I guess his back tire grabbed his leg and pulled it into the back wheel. Oh, man. He was going so well.
On the deck.
Perfectly straight, mate.
Still looking okay.
360 bar X over the box backwards, and that is so difficult because you're not supposed to, it's not, that ramp's not built for landing. It's built for taking off. Here it is, 1, 2, 3, 4 bar spins.
Wow.
In a 360 on the step down. And here we go, this is the 3 double whip. We're gonna see here, maybe his pedals, he didn't quite catch it. Yes, his front foot. It was his front foot.
Oh, yeah.
It caught at the start and then kind of kicked forward. His foot kicked forward and he missed his pedal and then sat into his wheel. But getting a lot of his run done. He only had maybe 10 seconds left, I believe. I'm not sure exactly, but
A really strong start.
yeah,
49.
still in first place after 3 people. But the score, best score you can get, 100. Worst score, 1. I don't think we're going to see any 1s.
And I've been talking with Zoltan right before the semifinals. He was hyped to be in the semifinals. And then he even qualified into this final.
I believe he might, I think he stuffed up in his first run as well. So there was so much pressure going into that second run, and pressure made diamonds. He landed such a solid run, and that's put him in this first group in the finals.
He's bringing the heat in this Hungarian goulash, Zoltan Ujvari.
Whoa, big 360 dip on the step down. 3 whip over the spine to box transfer.
Pocket whip.
Tucking her hand into the box backwards. Speed on the vert wall, what's he got? Beautiful 720.
Great execution.
Into an alley-oop flare. It's very similar run to his semis. It's so smooth, so clean.
Aiming for that double whip transfer.
And there it is.
Yes.
So not many people tricking that transfer, and that's a unique use of the park, and that's one of the criteria that you want to meet. Nice can over the hip, gathering speed. I'm going to call that a very, very dip 360 tail whip, or you could go under flip whip. And that quarter flare. I think he is just so stoked to be in the finals here at FISE Montpellier.
Wow.
Taking it all in, getting the first run under the belt. You see, the guys before him, they've had some trouble in that first run, so maybe you think, hey, you have the advantage of watching them, and these guys haven't put down a solid run, so I want to put down a solid run here, get a solid score on the board, and get in that top spot. And I believe that's what he's going to do right now.
So in this run, you mentioned that dipped 360 whip. Sometimes it's so difficult to see on which axis the rider is rotating.
Exactly. And it just comes down like, what were we really trying? Sometimes you have to ask the rider, like, what are you trying? And then that's what we go with. Look at this 720. Whoa. Perfect. Landing with so much speed, straight into an alley-oop flare. And there's that double whip transfer to the cheese grater. Yeah, that was, we're going to go with the flip whip on that one. I mean,
it was practically inverted, so we're going to call it, yeah, flip whip.
If you're the legend Pat Casey, you can do dip 360 whips like that. And there's still 360s because that's what you were trying.
76.37 by Zoltan.
That's a very good score. And now he gets to think, okay, how do I add to my next run? I've got a solid run on the board. What can I do to better that score?
Aussie, Aussie, Aussie.
Oi, oi, oi. Samuel Grace. I know he's got everyone in Australia back home cheering him on. He had some huge tricks in his qualies, semis, and I'm sure now finals. And he's got some secret tricks, and he's going to start his run off with a trick straight away. He's not just going to drop in. He's going to flip drop in.
What?
And a Boston over the hip. Can he trick every wall? Let's go. Bar tuck on that difficult step up. Flip tail whip, and you can see he kicks it with his back foot. 720 transfer. Down whip, keeping so much speed. That was a unique transfer from the spine to the hip, lining up the vert wall. Here we go. 1080! Yo, 3 revolution straight into the flare down whip. Keep going, Sam. Keep going, Sam. He landed with his feet like sitting down, but he's keeping it going. Flip, bar spin, that's good. Keep it going, Sam. Get a score on the board, brother. Oh, he cut it. See, when he aired and kicked his back end, it's so weird that happens sometimes. He was probably thinking about doing a trick. He come off the lip, and he had weight bearing on his back wheel, and that kicked off the lip, which threw him in a weird position and almost throws you the opposite direction to what you want to be for the air.
It looks as if the course couldn't take Samuel no more. He was just spitting fire on his bike the whole time.
Sam.
That flip dropping.
To start things off, like, starting it huge. And this, people are just 360 in it. He's doing another full rotation, 720. And this, the 1080. Thousands of people in the background.
And also,
perfectly clean straight into it, if I add. The flare down whip, you can see he lands sitting. He didn't want to crash that, you could tell. Like, he caught his feet a little weird, but he just hugged the bike, kept it going. But unfortunately, stacking the air at the end there.
and we could see it in the replay as well. He spins towards his forward foot, so that's
bung-footed,
goofy-footed, which makes a spin even harder. So he does 3 full rotations in that way.
I don't know if it makes it harder. I wouldn't say it makes it harder. It just looks cooler, if you ask me. It's going to get some extra points in my book.
Now our next rider, he's a silver medalist at the Pan American Games. So he's the second best rider of the American continent, of North and South America, and that is Jose Sedano.
And if you're filming with an iPhone, don't film horizontal when you're filming him ride. You got to film vertical, otherwise you're going to cut him out because he goes so high. Watch this. Amplitude is there, over the box. 360 triple tail whip.
Oh!
Boosting the flare.
He's bringing some new tricks that we didn't see in yesterday's semifinal.
Beautiful pocket table air. Look back on the transfer.
Classic trick.
Front flip going super long. Yeah, keeping the speed though. Spine, street spine, 360, hitting the step up. You can see how hard it is to get that perfect, but straight into the foot jam.
Foot jam in the sub box, and he takes it.
Use of course, and there you go, transferring into the step down as well. Watch this. Boom!
Oh, look how high it goes.
Table air.
10 more seconds.
This is a beautiful run. Let's go. Finish it off strong. Double backflip. Yes.
Okay, Jose.
Oh, he is going to be so pumped right now. Get a close-up of him. He's going to be stoked. Yeah, bring it on. Take it all in, mate.
Throughout his run, he was dominating the course.
And this is what I mean by flow. You can see the flow. He's keeping it. He doesn't need that many pedals. And if he does pedal, it's because he wants to go 3 times higher.
I mean, the way that he aired out of the bank,
I know.
that was like, I think almost 2 meters high.
Over catfish for sure. 360 tuck. That is a hard ramp to land in. The box takeoff. Not built for landing in. 360 triple with the box. Beautiful. Pocket table.
Tabletop.
was straight into a look back. This front flip, I was like, oh, he's going so long, but maintains the speed over the hip.
He's looking at his own replay like, oh yeah.
Double back flip. He landed manual yesterday, but this one, textbook.
83.25. We've broken the 80-point wall.
That's got to be, that was a better score than what he did in his semis as well. So he's going to be so pumped. And guess what? He's still got another run to go. Ah, this is sick.
God.
This is so good. All right, come on, Ashley.
Had a bit of a mishap in his first run on that big transfer we were talking about. So he's back for redemption. It's Ashley Finlay.
He's going to get as much as he can get enough speed as he can for this. The tail whip.
And he gets it.
Opting for the single whip because he might not have got that much speed. 720 down the step down. He wants to get a full pull here. Flare over the channel. 360 transfer. What's he got on this box? Let's see it. Double backflip. Oh my gosh.
Oh, and he gets it.
He landed manual 2 times multiplier.
And we're halfway. Ashley's second run. He needs to improve on a 3.25.
And he is already doing so. Front flip, stomps it.
Keep it going, keep that flow going, Ashley.
I think he's gonna line up that box again. Get speed. He's gonna have to crank in here. Oh, pushing through. That's good. Upper flare. Nice work. Stomping it. Let's go.
And ending on that podium quarter pipe.
Straight to meditation. So opted for the single tail whip 360, and what a smart move. Now he's got a full pull on the board, and that's going to be a great score. He loaded that run full of tricks, hucked a double backflip near the end of the run. Incredible riding, and you can't take it away. Just because he did the single whip on that 360 transfer on the step up, that is everyone's least favorite object for a reason, you know, obstacle for a reason. Blasting a 720 on the step down. Here's that double flip. Oh, up in the bars. See that?
Yeah.
2 times multiplier and Tony Hawk Pro Skater.
A bit too heavy on the back wheel, landing in a small manual.
He's got brakes, mate. Just pull the brakes. Get the front flip.
That's not a technique that you can use to stop the wheel, and that will help you in your rotation, right?
I mean, on a motorbike maybe, but it helps you from looping out. And then you can see there meditating in front of the beautiful Montpellier River. And there you go, 77.62. Opting for that 3 whip, and look at the score. That was beautiful. I'm so stoked that that's just making a conscious decision. Like, he might have had the 3 double whip in his mind, and all it takes is just to land a little low on that hip, and then this is where you need to make a decision quick. Okay, I'm gonna just 3 whip and get this run done.
You gotta make sure you have a plan B, a plan C, a plan D in case there is like a slip up in your run, maybe you're not in the right direction. Always have a plan B, and that's Sean Gornall for his second run.
And all these guys are gonna have those plans A, B, C, D, and E all the way to the top. Tuck air, a little bit of less speed, but he doesn't need it. 3 double down.
Getting nice and high on that alley-oop 360 transfer tabletop.
This, the opposite 360 bar spin. He's doing a topside bar. That's how you know he's spinning the opposite direction. 720 bar. Manhandled it straight into the whip air. That is a tight gap between the box landing and that quarter is so tight. So to get a second trick off instantly after that box jump is wild. There's the flip upper whip.
And he has it this time, keeps it going, and that's gonna give him that motivation and energy for those last 10 seconds.
Oh, so
come on, Sean.
That is an alley-oop pocket air. Oh, just coming off with a double whip. Oh, there you go. That's why he fell over. Pop tie, but man, I can't take away that the alley-oop pocket air is insane. You're fully blind going backwards off the ramp.
I mean, I'm impressed. Like, he landed with a pop tire and still kept it going.
I don't know if the pop tie maybe happened on the alley-oop air or the double whip, but I mean, he was only 6 seconds left in his run, so
And I think he did keep his feet on as it popped.
we'll count it. We're not the judges, but we'll count it. The 3 double down whip on the step down there. Opposite 360. Normal bar spin, 720 bar, the right direction. Well, his normal direction, sorry.
The way that he pulls that second rotation at 720, I love it.
You can see here, opposite tail whip backflip, kicking with the back foot, well, his front foot, sorry, and sliding it back.
And this is where...
Kicking it, here we go. I think it must have been right here. Oh, wow. So it wasn't when he landed the first time, it was, he landed kind of high and bounced his back wheel off the ground and then kind of landed sideways in the transition, popping the tire. But
maybe he came in a bit too sideways and his tire slipped off the bead of the rim.
I was actually talking to the guys about this obstacle, and the problem is there's no straight way to hit it. It's all around. The ramp, the takeoff ramp is all around, so sometimes you'll hit it and you'll think that you get pop, but you'll lose pop because you'll ride off a bit that is curved away from you, and you'll actually get less pop, or you'll be riding towards a bit that's has less pop and you'll get more.
But still, he's improving with that second run with the 69, putting him in that 4th spot.
Good number. Good score.
All right, we're ready to go.
That's a really
Run
nice
number 2.
score.
Exactly. It's in 4th place.
Representing Japan.
Let's go.
One of my personal favorites
I was gonna
at
say-
this FISE.
Your favorite rider's favorite rider. Crank flip drop in. I think the camera wasn't too good on that. Oh, landing a little deep on that box backwards, but gathering the speed here. 360 whip to tire bars, to T-bog. You won't see anyone else doing that. Alley-oop, triple bar spin, opposite 1 foot table.
It's even going sometimes too fast, even for us here in the commentating booth, and we have all the angles. 360 triple bar spin.
I think it might have been double. Obviously, he wanted maybe a little bit more, but he has so much speed. Usually people have to pedal in between those ramps, but you see, he doesn't need any pedaling.
That table seat grab combination that he has going.
360 double whip, can he get it this time?
Yes. Come on, Yoji.
Oh! It was like a nice dip 540 air.
Can.
So where he came off that 3 double whip, he's got through that now. Oh, that's nice. Sticking in the, oh, that was a little foot
Jam
jam.
in the wall, and out.
Oh,
Bar to
out of the
fakie.
bar.
Yes, Joji.
May I say it, the only gap to fakie we're probably going to see here in the finals.
And he stepped it up. So yesterday, he just did a gap to fakie, and now he threw in the extra bar spin, landing into the cheese grater and going backwards. And now going backwards in a UCI type of contest, that it takes a lot of risk as well.
Yeah, I mean, because you can't pedal backwards. So if you wanted to get the speed, you can't do it while you're going backwards.
I mean, you're riding blind.
Here it is. This trick's beautiful. 3 whip, tire buzz to T-bog. 3 double tail whip, stomping it this time. Straight into a flare, pocket T-bog, and then hitting the transfer, and then this.
Foot jam on the wall, going to the duck's foot.
Free coaster live. Yo. So in saying that, he's got a free coaster, so that actually makes it kind of hard to catch whips from, but you have to be perfect when you do tail whips if you have a free coaster, because your pedals actually flip around a little bit. They can crank flip. That's why he's doing crank flips in his run, which you won't see other guys doing crank flips, but 74.25 in 4th place on his second run.
And this man has already won his personal FISE, getting a spot here in the final. It's Zoltán Uzsváry from Hungary.
And he added the invert into that 360. Whoa! Kind of delayed on getting the pedals on that 3-whip transfer. Getting plenty of speed on that vert wall. 720, textbook. Straight into the alley-oop flare, landing really high there, keeping the speed. He wants more though. Oh, hitting the pocket into this double tail whip transfer. Cranking in, 270, the hip. What's he got? Going for the box jump again. Zoltán. Double tail whip, backflip. Capish calls it the helicopter. 2 revolutions on the frame. in a backflip. Flare whip to finish it off. Yo, adding to his run. He's going to be pumped on that. Let's go.
Thank you, Zoltan. Kızınım Zoltan.
Throwing up the love hearts. I love his helmet. It's got some interesting designs on it. Stepping it up from his first run.
Woo! Someone is stoked.
All right, so you can see here starting off the run with a beautiful 3-dip invert or underflip invert, whatever you want to call it. Pumping around, opposite pocket air, straight into the double tail whip transfer, landing on the cheese grater. 720 textbook.
Landing nice and high, keeping all that speed up, straight into that alley-oop flare.
And here, flip, double tail whip, perfect. And adding the whip to the flare at the end of his run.
This is going to be a great score for the Hungarian.
Are you not entertained, Montpellier? Are you not entertained?
What are we going to get?
Well, I am.
81.67. Another score in the 80s. That's 2 scores in the 80s now in these finals. Now,
All right, we're ready to go.
Samuel Grace from Australia.
The goofy-footed.
Representing Australian cycling.
He came off on that air, but I feel like he's going to clean this up. He's got more to give, and he's going to start off with this flip drop. Perfect, let's go. Maintaining the speed, bar spin, getting plenty of speed for that step up, bar tuck. Will he go for that flip whip again? There it is.
Flip whip the step down.
720 transfer, landing so smooth. Box backwards, getting speed. Come on, Samuel. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie!
1080!
Three full 360 rotations over the box and going huge as well. The amplitude is there. Setting up for that box, bar spin backflip. Flare downy. Oh, yes! Keep it going, 10 seconds left.
He gets back on that bike, keeps on pedaling.
Tail whip, that's it. Just finish this run off. Get to this ramp, get to this ramp, get this ramp.
Get a full run.
Man. He just, 540 air. Man, full pull. First finals here at FISE. You gotta be stoked. To make the finals is a challenge in itself.
What an achievement. But you can see, like, at the end of his run, there was no more gas in the tank. But the thing is, with this UCI World Cup, you need to do tricks up until the last second if you want to win.
I mean, the problem was that he kind of lined himself up and there was nothing in front of him quick enough to get to anything to do a trick. I mean, he could have popped a little Manny on the bottom, but this, look at this, drone shot, 1080, corked out. Look at this, his lack, so corked, goofy footed, spinning to the front foot.
And just a couple of weeks ago on Instagram, he landed his first 1080s. And then in this competition, he's doing his first competition 1080s as well, and he's got them dialed.
Oh, you can see his pedals kind of turn. He caught one-footed, but kept it up off the ground, kept the run going, and maybe that's why it took him a little extra while to get to the next obstacle, which might have took some of the seconds away where he usually would have made it to that final obstacle on the run. But
the way he held on to it, that's a true sign of bike control.
I mean, you can't ask for more than that. Obviously, come off on the air in that first run, getting a full pull here in the second run.
Top right of the screen, we see Luca and Christy.
Samuel just said hello to his mother. Hey, Mum, back in Australia. What's the time there? I'll check. It's midnight in Australia. Shout out to everyone in Australia watching right now. Staying up at midnight.
Good night, Mrs. Grace.
Yeah. Your son's done absolutely beautiful. Representing Australia here at FISE Montpellier. It's not a short trip, I'll tell you that much. And there you go, 80.62, currently in third place.
And this is just the first group of riders.
Exactly, but that, getting a score in the 80s here in the finals at FISE Montpellier, what an achievement. Oh, here we go.
And now we're back to one of the best riders coming from Chile. It's Jose Sedano,
our current leader of this group.
and he still has that one trick up his sleeve that I mean, we've seen a teaser yesterday in the semifinals. Will he pull it off in this final?
We're gonna find out right now. And everyone, make sure the cameraman pans up because he's blasting that 3 tuck no-hander over a really hard transfer.
Lining up for that jump box.
360, 1, 2, 3. Get it, clean, no, don't stop.
What happened, Jose? What happened?
I'll explain, because people at home, they might have seen, whoa, he landed it, what is he doing? He was riding up the very corner of the quarter, and that box jump landing is so close that when you land clean, it's even close. So when you land a little bit swirly, you only have a millisecond to decide, am I gonna do my next trick? And he chose not to, but here we go.
He's lining up for that manual on top of the wall. He is. Oh, but still dropping in from that height.
You still got time. You still got time. But there's also best trick tomorrow.
Do it for the crowd. Do it for the crowd, Jose.
Foot jam. He's gonna save it. Oh, and you thought you weren't gonna see another fakie. There you go, another fakie right there. Thank you, Jose. That was beautiful to watch.
That's a fun trick as well. Like doing a 360, keeping it going on your back wheel, doing another 180 as if you're pivoting into that fakie, into the lip of that jump box.
So hopefully they show the replay on this, but you're going to see these guys, you know, they're not just making a decision, oh, am I going to do the trick? It's like, I'm making a decision, am I going to risk my body to do this next trick? Do I have enough time to safely do this? So you're going to see 3 double, triple tail whip, and he's going to land, oh, facing kind of to the right. Unfortunately, they didn't show it. So you can see he landed and he swerved to the right, and then now he's aiming at the ramp at the wrong direction. Maybe he wanted to go left, and he's all the way to the right of the ramp now, so he's not going to make it over to where he wants to be, so he opted to not do the trick, but then he blessed us with some tech, which everyone loves to see.
Now, in comparison with Yoji, he was pedaling backwards, and that is because he has a cassette wheel, right?
Exactly, no free coasters, so he has to pedal backwards when he rides backwards. A lot of the street riders, they'll have a free coaster. A lot of the park riders, they'll have a cassette because they need it to engage straight away. When they want more speed, they need it to engage, and a free coaster actually takes a little bit of a crank before it engages, but
so there's a bit of slack in the free coaster wheel.
Exactly, and if you don't know someone's got a free coaster and you jump on the bike, you usually knee the stem and cry. But there's the current standings in the men final.
So if you're just tuning in, we're going to give you the highlights from that first heat of riders.
From Australia, Brandon Lupos.
back at the FISE World Series here in Montpellier at the UCI BMX Freestyle Park World Cup Final. We actually just packed up the first heat of riders. You just saw their highlights of their 2 runs. My name is still Egon Timmermans, and I'm still here with my good friend Ryan Williams.
And my name's still Ryan Williams as well. Let's go. Next up, we've got the big boys. The boss battles are coming up right here. The big hitters. Oh, yes.
So this is going to be an interesting group. We're going to have the Australian Brandon Lupos, who qualified in first yesterday in the semifinals. But also we have the local legend, the local sweetheart, le chouchou, Anthony Jean. And that's Pee-wee that you're hearing, Pierre Wilhelm, the French MC, hyping up the Montpellier crowd. This place is packed. Now, another cool thing I think about Montpellier is, about FISE Montpellier, it's a very democratic festival. You only pay 10 euros for a 5-day ticket to gain access to this this festival.
And they also have the mini ramp that's free for everyone. So it's a party every single day. From about Wednesday onwards, I was like, is it the weekend? Because there's so many people here already.
And you thought Australians were wild.
Yeah, yep, well, we could get wild too. I feel like we Australians would mix in really good here.
Now let's get wild with Kaede Ozawa from Japan.
Over the box, backwards. I think it was 3 bar to X up. 3 bar spins in a backflip. Straight into a huge flare. Once he gets plenty of speed on that hit. Oh, just, I mean, not really hanging up, kind of like slamming the back wheel a little bit. 3 down with the step down.
But Kaede keeps it going. He keeps pumping through the course, keeps throwing those bars.
3 bar X up on the transfer. Getting so much speed. There it is!
Oh, yes.
You forgot about that?
The alley-oop tail whip.
Alley-oop, downside tail whip. The only person doing alley-oops on that cheese grater. For good reason. Lining up the box, plenty of speed. 10 seconds to go. There's that. Oh, no! Didn't he just slam his cherries? That looked like he slammed his cherries real hard. Gosh. So 3 bar down whip, and it was so slow. And I feel like he must have just missed his yelp. I think he needs to like lay down and bring his hands above his head and try to find where those went.
So we saw that.
Oh, wow, he was just getting that. He was like kind of under-rotating, but still through that 3rd bar spin. Textbook, 3 down whip, over the step down, and this bar, X, so fast.
Oh, like look like he was like sliding out of it.
Slightly under-rotated, but pulled it around. Going so high over the coping on the T-bog, on the wall ride, kind of vert wall thing. And here, 3 bar, kicking the down whip. And you can see, so his front foot was just slightly behind his pedal. He tried to ride the cranks, but what happens is the back foot lands and pushes the pedal down, which brings the front pedal up, and then his foot slid down, and he got sucked into the wheel. But hopefully he can gather his family jewels and come back stronger in the 2nd run.
Now our next rider needs, well, he has a rather fitting introduction. He is the cool guy from Lodi. The one and only Bryce Tryon.
Bong foot life. You can see he spins naturally to his front foot there, and that allows him to do big tricks like that. The 3 look back over the box backwards, fully cranked. Double backflip.
Oh!
So clean, straight into a 540 flare. Yes! Huge trick straight away. Pocket tuck air, beautiful full extension. Oh, that was sweet. That was like a 270 bar spin transfer, 450. Oh, alley-oop, 1 foot, flare table. Landing so smooth. Keep it going, Bryce. Oh, he kind of bumped with the vert wall. Oh, yes, still throws the front flip bar spin. So he had a little bit less speed than normal, but because he hucked a front flip, it allowed him to get forward momentum. And there, top side.
And that's a difficult transfer to do.
Yo, double tail whip this time. So smooth on the step down.
Bringing that California heat.
Come on. Yo, full pull from the guy from Lodi. Yes! He's going to be so stoked on that run. Adding a lot of tricks from semifinals. He added to a lot of his tricks from the semifinals there. Landed the double backflip super clean. Doing it for Pat Casey forever. Actually got a Pat Casey shirt on right now. Shout out to Pat. Pointing to the sky. Ah, goosebumps. Love you, Pat.
What?
There you go. 3, look back, over the box backwards. You're not meant to ride it that way. And then this double backflip. So clean, straight into.
That 540 flare.
Funk Foot Live. And this, I love this. It was like a 270 transfer with a bar spin.
I think he throw it opposite as well, that bar spin.
No, so he spins and bars that way, so he does topside bars naturally. But this was added on. He usually did that where he did the 540 flare, and then he did alley-oop, and then added a tail whip on that from his semifinal. So added a double tail whip on that run. And front flip bar spin, landing absolutely perfect. Loving that run. That is just the first run too. Such a solid run there for Bryce.
But will it be enough to get Jose Sedano off that first place? And he does.
I didn't want to say it, but there it is, 85.87. Put him in the lead by over 2 points. But we have some final bosses coming up. These guys make my hands sweat. You can see them all sitting on their bike, keeping their legs warm. Sitting around, it's not fun when you're sitting around. You're ready to do your hardest tricks. Go as hard as you can for 1 minute. I'm excited for this guy.
Team Great Britain representing this FISE.
Reef way, 360 triple tail whip on the step down. 3 tuck, oh, he snuck his back wheel in there. 540.
Look how high he went.
That quarter, a lot of people were saying that's way too steep, and he said, I like it perfectly fine, 540. 360 backflip. Next up, gathering speed. Oh, this, keep your eyes peeled, alley-oop. Oh. Flare whip, I've heard that he can't flare, but he can flare whip like that. And I'd rather be able to do that than do a flare. Oh, sick, that was like a 450
yeah.
one-hander. Front flip bar spin kind of sideways. Whoa, that was a crazy style. He was like kind of corked out. 3X up, keep this going. Oh, he wants to box again, box again.
Come on, get that speed up again, Reef.
Go, go, he knows he gets 2 hits in here. Oh, that's all right, look at that. Let's go, Reef. Back-to-back, full pulls on these runs. Look at this, 360 triple whip on the step down. That is a scary ramp to do anything on because you start so high up, and if you go too far forward, you fall a long way, just like this.
Oh, that's
falling a long way. Beautiful 3 flip on the box.
And we're so happy for him as well that he made it into the finals. His first FISE finals.
Chad Kagi-esque. If you know Chad Kagi, he does flare whips on vert like that, and to see someone do that in a park run is a thing of beauty. Wow. You can see he's bugging. You can see a minute going full blast, solving technical problems on the fly.
So you just mentioned Chad Kagi, legendary vert rider, but Team Great Britain is being coached by another legendary great vert rider, Jamie Bestwick.
Absolute legend. He actually came up with that, the cool guy from Lodi for Bryce. So shout out to Jamie.
I think Jamie's on his way to China right now for the Olympic qualifier series.
Yeah, Jamie. Get your own girl.
87.50?
Whoa!
Our new leader.
Wow. Man, I mean, so many smooth tricks and tricking every single wall. And going so high, like keeping the amplitude, especially on that flare whip, going higher than people were airing that ramp.
Now watch out for the next rider dropping in. Olympic bronze medalist.
Front flip over the step down. This is another rider. You can't film this guy horizontal with an iPhone.
Oh.
You can only film vertical, otherwise you'll chop his head off in the clip. So much speed. Chooses every pedal wisely. Only one pedal because he needed to get so much air for that double backflip. Here we go, lining up a unique transfer.
Oh!
And then down, and then watch this, keep your eyes peeled. Ooh, blasting the table on the cheese grater. He said that's his favorite place.
Look
oh, that transfer! That was new.
We haven't seen that transfer yet because it's so far away.
Yo, 360 backflip no-hander. Shout out to the Miracle Boy, air traffic controller, 10 seconds left.
Come on, Declan.
Front flip, tail whip. Yo!
And he gets it.
He earned that. He earned that. Declan, you madman. So one of the things about Declan's riding, every pedal he does has a purpose. That whole run, he landed so smooth. And the only reason he ever pedaled was to go higher. It wasn't to regain speed because everything was effortless. This front flip on the step down, it's so hard. Landing up the top, when you front flip, usually it throws your body weight forward. You end up going a longer distance, but he pops up in the air so that he lands better. And this, double backflip, so high, so smooth. And this, look at this. Oh.
Someone's gonna wall ride the TV wall in the back.
This transfer, I haven't seen anyone do this yet. So kicking it out with style.
All the way over the jump box, all across the jump box, into the spine. That's a very narrow window.
Front flip tail whip. Shout out to Scotty Karema. Mate, he invented the front flip tail whip, and now we're seeing it here at FISE Montpellier in the finals. And I'm feeling like a new top score, 89.87 for Declan Brooks. Well deserved. Will someone break the 90s? Will someone break the 90s? What is it going to take?
Just listen to that. The French are losing their damn minds. We can hear them all the way over here in the commentator booth.
We're like 200 meters away, and you can hear it, you can feel the energy in the crowd. And this guy eats pressure for breakfast. Pressure makes diamonds, dropping in for his first run. Plenty of speed on the step up. 3, double it, so much high, so smooth. Carrying that speed into the step down, 720 bar spin. Bar spin, over the hip, getting speed for this. The Superman C-grab, Indy over the channel gap. See how much speed he maintains.
Lining up for that jump box again.
One pedal in between the wall. Backflip, triple tail whip. Into a flare downing. Oh my gosh, he's only just past halfway. He's going back to the box jump again.
Allez, 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 Anthony.
Double backflip. Yes. Double tail whip. Oh my gosh, let's go.
Is Anthony Jean-Jean on the way to that first spot in the leaderboard?
Pocket double whip. Bar spin the gap. Transfer. X up. Time for one more. Alley-oop. 540 flare. Yo! Oh my God. He is going to be so pumped. And the crowd.
Signed, sealed, delivered. Anthony Jean-Jean, le roi de Montpellier, the king of Montpellier.
You know how I was asking, what's it going to take to get a 90 score? I think we just saw a 90 score. I was going to say, man, sometimes having the hometown advantage, like, it creates more pressure, but he just created diamonds with that pressure. There was so many tricks. I wish I could count every trick. There was close to 20 tricks in that run.
And that's an insanely difficult gap.
Everything, flow. He took the minimal amount of pedals he needed. The transfer, Superman C-grab Indy. This, adding the tail whip.
Triple tail whip while going upside down.
And then straight into the downside flare whip. And this double backflip, I've never seen him do a double backflip. I know he can do them, but there it is, just unleashing that and finishing off the last seconds with an alley-oop 540 flare. So taking off the opposite direction, spinning 540 degrees and doing a flip.
And he's ticked off every box. Course use, tricks, variety of tricks, execution of tricks, the landings, the speed, everything was perfect. And it gets him that 92.50 for Le Frère Chouchou, Anthony Jean-Jean.
Wow. Well deserved. You can tell, yes, he used the whole course. He touched every part of the course. He didn't pedal any more times than he really wanted to. You can tell he landed smooth. He had different kinds of tricks. He had a Superman C-grab Indy. He did a double flip as well, and then he did a flip triple tail whip, and that step up. That stands out from the crowd. 360 double tail whip step up.
But we still have one more competitor for his first run in heat number 2. From Australia, Brandon Lupos.
Another guy that eats pressure for breakfast. Brandon Lupos from Australia. Aussie, Aussie, Aussie. Oi, oi, oi. If you're up in Australia right now, make some noise for the man. Flip drop.
Yes!
Tuck no hand to the hip, keeping that speed. Bar spin transfer up to the step down. Here we go. What's he got? Flip, double tail whip. Perfectly smooth. Transfer, truck driver. Carrying so much speed for the double whip pocket transfer.
360. Getting that speed on the wall again. Ready for the jump box. Let's see what does Brandon have for us.
1080 speed.
Yes!
Perfect. Flare whip, alley-oop. That is a beautiful combination. Lining up that box. One crank in. Cash roll. Perfect. Oh, opposite flare tuck. Spinning the opposite direction to normal and doing a combo. Down whip transfer.
Onto the cheese grater, bar spin.
He's got time for one more hit on this quarter. 540 flare. Landing it so smooth this time. Lupos, you absolute legend. Been through so much recently, injury after injury, but here he is back, stronger than ever. Brandon Lupos doing it for Australia. I'm so proud of you, Lupos. Lupos, you legend. Lupos, come on. What is the score? I think
we'll have to find out. We have our live leaderboard here. Let's take a look at the highlights.
Flip double whip. This is perfectly smooth. Truck driver, transfer, alley-oop, straight into a pocket double whip air at height.
Can Brandon Lupos take home another feast win? PS1 2017 Budapest.
I think he did the 1080 straight into an alley-oop flare whip. And that 5 flare landing smooth this time. Here's a cash roll. Off axis, 720 with an upside down cork.
So
come on.
That's 2017 Budapest, 2019 Hiroshima. Will he take home the 2024 FISE World Montpellier? Does he still have room in his luggage for that trophy?
It's killing me.
He needs a 92.50.
That's such a big score.
He needs a 92.51.
Oh gosh. We still have another run after this as well.
Suspense is building.
Oh, look at the crowd right now.
Anthony Jean-Jean in the hot seat. Because if Brandon succeeds to get a better score.
I'm so glad I'm here in the commentator's booth and not the judge's booth. Yeah. Oh, here we go, here we go, here we go.
91.32.
Man, it's hard to say, like, it was in both runs, absolutely flawless, in the 90s.
I think this run is going to need a little bit more of seasoning to get him over the 92.50 score.
I know Lupos, he has tricks he can add, and he will bring that to the next run.
For us to know, for the viewers to find out.
Run number 2 for the 16-year-old.
So this rider qualified in the first group in semifinals, but managed to make into the final group of this final. It's Kaede Ozawa from Japan.
360 Barspin X up over the box backwards, airing over the top of the vert wall for this barspin, backflip. Straight into a big flare. T-bog over the hip.
Saban pulling that handlebar towards him. Bar spin.
Out. Perfect 3 down whip over the step down. Barspin X up. 2 barspins, revolutions, and then crossing the hands for an X up.
The man with the combination, Sky all the way from Japan. Yes, that's that alley-oop, downside tail whip. Back into the side section here, onto the cheese grater.
Lining up that vert wall. Here we go, speed.
Come on, Kaede.
There it is, come on!
Yes!
Spin down with 360. Time for one more, maybe. Oh, 3 bar. Over the street spine. Full pull. All the way from Japan. Stomping it. Well representing Japan.
He got redemption on a 360 bar spin into a downside tail whip. He kept it going.
So much style. So, well, good use of the course. Doing all the transfers here. Starting bar spin, in a backflip. 3 down whip, textbook, over the step down. Bar spin X, crossing the arms up, doing the X up. Throwing the leg over the frame for the can.
Very classic trick in BMX freestyle. Tail whip onto the cheese grater. Bar spin. There we have it. That's that 360 bar spin into a downside tail whip. Unique combination by Kaede. Look at him bowing for the crowd here in Montpellier. That's that Japanese gratitude.
Yeah. Well, a great run. I'm excited to see the score. That should bump him up. I feel that was definitely enough to get a better score on the second run.
Will it pay off for the Japanese team? There's been a lot of Japanese riders here in both BMX Park, but also in BMX Flatland, which we will be streaming tomorrow in the Flatland finals.
And we have a best trick. Oh yeah, I'm supposed to ride that. I hope they let me ride the FISE course. I've never done it before. Oh, here we go. They're taking a while. I mean, the thing is, there's so many criteria you have to meet, and then they have to use that to get the score. And here it is, 75.75, bumping him up to 10th position.
Jumping over his fellow Japanese, Yoji Mizugaki. It's Kaede in the 10th spot for this FISE Montpellier.
Next up, the cool guy from Lodi. Riding with a big smile. He's already put down a great run in that first one, so now he can just work on what can he add, and he has many tricks to add.
He does banger after banger.
3 look back. Keeping the speed in the vert wall. Starting off, double backflip. So big, so smooth. Oh, he rode up the side of the ramp just then.
Oh, yeah. I think he was aiming for a 540 flare again. He did in his last run, but unfortunately, yeah, like if your sense of direction is a bit wrong, and if your run is not going as you intended to, it's better to sit it out.
Exactly, and if you're going up the side of the ramp, when you do a 540 flare, the trick is 90% in the very start of the pull. And if you're going off the side of the ramp, the trajectory of your jump's gonna be totally different. And then, so he opted straight away. He does the double backflip, lands a little sitting down, and then you can see he was a little bit to the right.
Right side.
So he had to swerve left and then still go right, but he wanted something bigger than a flare, and you could tell. Broken-hearted.
Oh, Bryce.
That was for his fiance maybe at home. He said, I'm broken-hearted, I just want to get home to my fiance. And that was for Pat Casey forever. We're all out here representing our fallen brother, Pat Casey. And we have a contest coming up.
Yes,
in his name.
This evening we still have the Pat Casey Memorial Spine Ramp contest coming up.
But Bryce did such a good first run. He's going to stick with that 85.87 and drop his second run score, but sitting in 5th place in the finals.
And I think mathematically he's going to stay in that 5th place because our 4 remaining riders, they're all placed above Bryce.
First time in the finals. Run number 2.
First time finalist, Reef Way.
Welcome him in.
Sitting in 4th place in his first finals.
And he can
with one
still
run to go.
break that 90-point barrier.
And he had time at the end. I feel like if he can get these tricks, the 360 triple tail whip on the step down, transfer 360, because he wants to hit this 540. Going so far to the right of the ramp, but just hanging on. Alley-oop 5 air, lining up the box. 360 backflip, textbook, perfect landing. X up, opposite way air. This, the flare whip, alley-oop. Oh, did you? I feel like I heard his back wheel touch the coping.
Like, you can hit a bit of a skid, you know?
It was pretty much the perfect landing there. 450 X up. I'm loving to see these 450s on the hip. Most people not spinning the hip. Probably getting some extra
Front
points.
flip.
Front flip.
He nails the landing.
540 bar. I feel like he's gonna line something up here.
Back to the jump box. Let's see what Reef has up his sleeve.
Ah, backflip.
Casual backy, and that's going to be time for the UK's Reef Way.
Amazing work.
I think his coaches are going to be glad with his riding. Both Jamie Beswick and Greg Illingworth.
And that's how we get magical moments like this. Obviously, some of the riders aren't here today, and we get an interesting final like this. We see some new names in the finals, and then that's when you see big tricks you might not have seen an alley-oop 540. You definitely wouldn't have seen an alley-oop 540 flare. I mean, alley-oop flare whip. Sorry, at that height without Reef here.
If I was one of the
finals.
Olympic qualified riders for the OQS series, and if I'm watching this stream right now or in replay, like, I would feel like a bit,
I'm like, I better step up.
I better
my
step
game.
up now. Because all these new talents.
They're coming for you. And Reef, he looks young. He's a young guy coming up. He's got his hair sticking out his helmet. That's when you know you've been trying your hardest, is when your hair's poking out the top of your helmet. Happens to the best of us. We're going to wait for this score.
If it's the same thing as in road cycling with Tadej Pogacar, the Tour de France winner, then we might have a new world champion on the way.
So he did opt to not do the bar spin in the front flare. I think he maybe added the bar spin in a 540 after the jump. But there, he's going to stick with his first run score, an 87.5.
Amazing weekend.
And that's for his first FISE final, ending up in that 4th spot.
And now it's a battle for the podium. Everyone coming up is on the podium. It's just going to change what position, if anyone can disrupt the positions right now.
Watch out, FISE.
Declan with the front flip, landing perfect. It's so hard to get that trick dialed over a spine. 540 landing super high. See how much speed Declan carries.
No-hander, nice and stretched.
Aiming for the box. Double backflip, perfect.
Yes!
Lands it kind of a little bit low, but he's going to gain that speed back. That's the best thing. He has pumping legs. He has race legs. And see,
Oh, yes!
he gets the manual this time. So what he lacked, he gained with that double flip. Look how much speed he's got back.
That transfer.
He's got so much speed back already. 360 backflip, no-hander. One hand X up. Oh, 3 can, beautiful. Time for maybe one more. Over the box and then the quarter. Front flip. And then 540. Yes. Man.
Our Olympic bronze medalist from Tokyo.
So I know people are like, a manual, like.
It looks easy, but look at the height of the vert wall. Look at the gap he had to do before he got onto the vert wall. Look at the spot that he's landing in.
And then he's dropping off into a huge bank. But the hard thing is, no one is hitting that transfer, and he just manualed it. But then, and he added this double backflip, landing a tiny bit low, but it didn't matter. He gained all his speed back within one hit. He was back to full pace. I like this double flip. I like the manual. Give me the manual. Here it is, here it is.
There it is.
So look,
That's
almost two people high.
More than 2 meters high.
Landed perfect, and it's so dangerous because if you stop up that manual, you're going head first into a 20-foot drop.
That's an awesome picture, like where he's airing in front of the TV wall.
And don't forget this transfer over the whole box sideways into the street spine.
And I think the width of the jump box itself is like 4 meters, I think.
Exactly. And opted not for the front flip whip, but he added to the beginning of his run. And there you go, 89.87. And the reason why, I think, is that he took away that front flip tail whip. I feel like if he got that front flip tail whip, he would have been up there in the 90s, 100%. But you're at the end of the run, you're tired. The front flip tail whip takes so much energy to do. But here we go.
Currently sitting in that first spot, the Montpellier local, the Montpellier legend, France's sweetheart, Olympic candidate for Paris 2024. Mesdames et messieurs, c'est Anthony Jean-Jean.
So here he's going to get as much speed as he can because he's going to hit this step up. 3 double tail whip, lands perfect. Straight into a bar spin there with high. 725.
Oh, yes.
Step down. Look how much speed he's going to carry into this Superman Indies. Truck driver, transfer, gaining speed.
Without any pedaling.
Backflip, triple tail whip.
Oh.
Into the flat down whip. He's got this run going perfectly. Similar to his first run. Let's see if he adds any more. 3 down whip, opting for a different trick there.
He was looking for an extra trick in there, I think. But he keeps on going to the compact section here in that pocket. Cheese grater.
Next up, alley-oop for the crowd. 540 flare. Anthony John. Look at that. That is an amazing image right there.
If we take our headphones here in the commentary booth, we can hear the people all the way from the other side of the FISE Festival.
So his run was very similar, going very similar. He got to the 3 down whip, and I think he wanted a little bit more on that trick. So then after that, he kind of turned the accelerator off, and the rest was for the crowd here in Montpellier. But started off so strong. Backflip, triple tail whip.
3 rotations of the frame.
And then there you go, the 3 down whip. I think maybe he double flipped last time and then did the flip triple tail whip, but opted maybe to do something else, but it didn't work out. But hey, he's sitting in first with a 92.5. We had Lupros drop in after him in the first heat and get a really, really solid rundown, and it just fell short. So it comes down to this.
So the winner of FISE Enoshima and FISE Brussels last year is gonna stay in that first position with a 92.50, but will it be enough to have the FISE 2017, the FISE 2019 winners of Hiroshima and Budapest? Will it be enough to keep Lupos out of that first spot? Can Lupos take another FISE win after 5 years?
Australia, Lupos needs a spirit bomb. Hands in the air, give him the power right now. Flip drop. Jumping the hip, getting plenty of speed. Bar spin transfer, landing with a little bit more speed. And damn it, he just, you know what happened? He didn't trick the hip, he wanted more speed for the gap, and he got it. And unfortunately, it gave him too much speed, and he landed low. And there you see it. As soon as you land low over that transfer to the spine, you lose your speed for the quarter air. And when you don't have the speed for the quarter air, you don't have enough speed to do a flip double tail whip on the step down. And there you go.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of FISE 2024 is Anthony Jean-Jean. Ouais, BMX. Another FISE win for Anthony. And the crowd is losing it. Oh, look at that.
There's going to be an adrenaline jump, drop in like 30 minutes. Everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, everyone's so hyped right now. And for good reason. Adrenaline dump coming in 30 minutes. But there you go, the French flag flying high in first place.
The blue, white, and red. Le chouchou de FISE, Anthony Jean-Jean.
The French commentators are going wild beside us. This guy, he has another contest in a week's time.
In a week's time. Tomorrow, a lot of the riders are getting on the plane to Shanghai to get used to the hour difference. You start training, media presentations, because, I mean, France already has a national spot, but if he wants a personal spot for the Olympics, he has to ride for it in the next upcoming 2 Olympic Qualifier Series events.
He's looking strong.
But I think
he didn't hold back at all. For this Montpellier crowd on this amazing course, a 92.50 is a huge score. Any score in the 90s is an amazing run. And we had 2 of those here today. But everyone in this final threw down so hard. The lowest score is 69, all the way up to a 92.50.
I think it's gonna be a party tonight here in Montpellier, and we still have the finals for the women as well. We still have the spine ramp contest going on, so it's gonna be hectic in Montpellier
Newsflash,
this evening.
Every night at Montpellier is a party. Wow. So it's just to show you, if you land low in these contests, that's why these guys just stop riding. You can tell, to get to that top score, you need to land clean.
Now, if we take a look at the overall ranking, we see Anthony still in that first spot, but we still have another FISE World Series coming up in Shanghai. But Brandon is the first rider chasing him with 1,250 points, then followed by Logan Martin. Then we got Declan Brooks, and a lot of the riders that we see on this list, like Nick Bruce, for example, and Rim Nakamura. I see Marin Rantes as well. They're not competing here because they're already in China for the Olympic Qualifier Series, but things can still change. Now, talking about Shanghai, we'll be there in October for the next FISE World Series, so let's look at that.
5 long years have passed since FISE World Series last graced the international stage. In 2024, we're in Shanghai.
I'm the main event. Ain't no back before, let's get it. Let's in it, put it in love, okay with it. Ain't nobody in front of me. Ain't nobody in front of me. You can try to prove me wrong and try to get respect.
And on behalf of all the riders, thank you guys so much.
And we're
for
still
your
here
energy.
at
You make
FISE
this
Montpellier. It's me, Egon, and my intern, Ryan Williams.
I'm currently sweating. My hands feel like I just did a run with everybody. But look at that crowd.
I think your internship is going really well, Ryan, so I might invite you to Shanghai as well.
Please, please, I love this. I can't get enough of FISE.
The legend of BMX, that is the way they're introducing him to the crowd here in Montpellier.
That's a lot of people and a lot of beer.
French are losing it over the victory of Anthony Jean-Jean.
No one in the river, which is kind of a good thing, I think.
No one in the river yet.
Yes.
So let's take a look at that winning run of Anthony Jean-Jean.
His first drop, all he needed was 1 run,
His first run.
and it was right here. You're going to see, he did, I said at the end of the run, I think he might have done more tricks than anyone else in this run. So he started off hitting a big boost here because he needed to hit this 360 double whip, landing perfect straight into a bar air at height. And then this 720 bar on the step down. This, so much speed needed, overcoping Superman's seat grab, Indy. You can see minimal pedals, and the only reason he'll ever pedal is to go higher. Triple tail whip backflip. There's a flared down whip. Such a quick transition to transition after that box jump. Straight into the double backflip. And then a double tail whip. Like, everything is back to back. So smooth. Double whip, pocket air. Getting this transfer. That's an important transfer in the run. You know, you want park use, and that's what he gave. And then finishing with the alley-oop 540 flare. Just from...
So we're going to the course right now and listen to the podium ceremony. Take it away, Catfish.
From all over the world come to FISE is for the energy and the show. We just were treated to a show, and let's get to the podium right now. In third place, representing Team GB, Declan Brooks.
The Tokyo bronze medalist Declan Brooks back on the FISE podium.
Another finals for Declan Brooks.
Yeah.
In second place, representing Australia Cycling, Brandon Lupos.
Been through so much. Nothing to hang your head about. Lupos, a second place here in FISE Montpellier, and an incredible score in the 90s.
Definitely a battle out there.
Now the crowd is
And
gonna
your
go wild
2024
for their winner.
Montpellier Park champion from France, Anthony Jean.
From the start to finish, just an amazing run. Filled with incredible tricks, use of park, and flow.
And that's what he deserves, a wall of sound.
These are your champions. Faites du bruit, Montpellier!
Make some noise, Montpellier!
Big shout out to everyone in the finals. That was an incredible thing to watch from start to finish. It's like we're at a soccer game.
They're singing the national anthem.
Really?
A cappella.
Oh man, that's what a moment.
Patrie.
So much pressure going into this, but oh my god.
Goosebumps.
Vous êtes incroyable, Montpellier. Waouh.
The crowd is unbelievable. Now let's
J'ai des
listen
frissons
to
partout,
MC
vous êtes
Pee-wee.
fantastiques, merci beaucoup. Et on va en profiter pour avoir quelques mots de notre numéro 1 français. On va se tourner vers le meilleur homme ici. Viens avec moi, Anto. Viens avec moi. Bon, ça fait longtemps qu'on l'attend. Ok. D'accord, parfait. Et bon, on reste là. Qu'est-ce que ça te fait, Anto, de gagner ce FISE Montpellier?
Je sais pas quoi vous dire. Je suis. J'aimerais vous dire merci. Je suis heureux, je suis fier. J'ai fait mes premiers pas ici. J'ai découvert le sport ici quand j'avais 10 ans. J'ai découvert le sport quand j'avais 10 ans ici. Et j'ai fait mes premiers pas ici. J'ai acheté mon premier BMX ici. J'ai fait mes premières compétitions en moins de 16 ans, en amateur et en professionnel ici. Et c'était un rêve d'arriver jusqu'ici et c'était un rêve de gagner cette étape. Donc je suis le plus heureux et c'est grâce à vous tout ça. Donc merci.
So that was Anthony saying he didn't know what to say,
monumentale.
but
Chaque
he was
année, ça
thanking
me...
the whole crowd of Montpellier because
C'est pareil pour moi.
he started here at the age of 10. He started here in Montpellier, buying his first bike. He started here in Montpellier in his first amateur competition and his first pro competition.
Je pense à énormément de monde. En premier, je pense à mes parents qui m'ont emmené là quand j'avais 10 ans. Donc merci à eux, c'est grâce à eux que j'en suis là.
Thanking his
Ils
parents.
sont là-haut.
They're here as well.
Merci à toutes les personnes qui me soutiennent, à ma chérie qui me soutient au quotidien, tous mes amis, ma famille, tous mes partenaires, mon club Passion BMX qui me soutiennent depuis mes débuts, le FISE et Hervé qui a créé ce bel événement. Et je vous remercie à tous mes partenaires, la région Occitanie de soutenir l'événement. Et vous, le public, c'est grâce à vous, comme je l'ai dit, que j'en suis là, donc merci.
He's thanking the crowd, his partner, his friends, his family,
Allez,
everyone
petite
that's
dernière pour
supporting him
Ruth.
in any way possible.
On
He's
sait tous
so
ce
grateful.
qui se passe encore cette année. Maintenant, les prochaines étapes, ceux qui veulent te suivre, ceux qui veulent t'encourager, ça se passe maintenant.
Mais là, vous étiez nombreux ici, donc ça me tenait à cœur d'être ici parce que je sais que c'est l'événement qui va se rapprocher le plus des Jeux Olympiques cet été. Donc j'espère que vous allez continuer comme ça, à me soutenir énormément pour cet été Place de la Concorde. Et on se revoit pour aller chercher la plus belle des médailles.
Now we only ask from the
Merci
crowd
beaucoup,
in
Anto.
France
Merci à
to
tout le
keep
monde.
supporting him in his
Montpellier,
dreams,
vous êtes
to keep supporting him on the Place de la Concorde at the Olympics. This was the FISE World Series Montpellier men's final in BMX Freestyle. We've seen an amazing display of sportsmanship. Ryan, I had a lot of fun. What do you think?
Mate, it was absolutely amazing from start to finish. We got more events to go, but stoked to be here. Thank you.
And there you have it. My name was Egon. Thank you for watching and see you at the next FISE Montpellier.